Guyana, the jewel of South America. It is here that tales of a mysterious mountain called the Makarapan has led local explorer Gear Megan on an expedition across Guyana to climb and explore this mountain. Gear departs from the Kanuka Suites Hotel at 123 Kanuka Street, Section M, Campbellville in Georgetown, and makes his way through the city, heading for Linden via the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. The highway is 72 kilometers long, and it now plants Gear in Guyana's hilly sand and clay region. Georgetown and most of Demerara is located on the low coastal plain, whereas Linden, although located 66 miles up the Demerara River, is located in the hilly sand and clay area. Departing Linden, Gear heads towards the Essequibo River, taking a rough dirt trail not uncommon to many of Guyana's interior spaces. The bumps and jerks add to the adrenaline rush and sense of adventure, so it's no problem for some. At night, there isn't much to see, although now that he's in the hinterland region of Guyana, there's plenty of thick forests on either side of the road, so it's best to keep his eyes on the road. Just around dawn, he arrives at the Kurupukari crossing, where he encounters the mighty Essequibo River. From here, he's transported for around 50 minutes by a pontoon, powered by an engine boat attached to it, across the river. At the other end of the crossing, he comes to the Irokrama International Center for Rainforest Conservation and Development site. Encompassing 371,000 acres of rainforest by Guyana to the world for the purposes of biostudies, a wilderness reserve, and a sustainable utilization area. Having crossed the Essequibo River, he once again changes natural regions, landing in the Rupununi savannas. He continues his journey along the Rupununi Road, passing the world-famous Surama Ecotourism Village Resort, which is frequently visited by Hollywood actors and actresses, as well as members of the British royal family. Popular survival television shows such as Naked and Afraid have filmed several episodes there. Being flanked by dense forest for most of the journey so far, Gear is suddenly greeted by a vast opening of clear blue skies, pure grasslands, beautiful rolling hills. An hour or so later, he finally arrives in Anai, after driving a further 75 kilometers since crossing the Essequibo River. Anai stands at an altitude of 95 meters, 314 feet, at the edge of the Rupununi Savannah, where the cattle trail to the Atlantic coast begin. It is nestled in the foothills of the Makarapan Mountains and is close to the Rupununi River and is considered to be the gateway to the Rupununi. Much of the population of the area are members of the Mukushi people. It is mainly an agricultural community living on cassava and peanut farming and cattle ranching. While driving through the open, dusty roads of the Rupununi savannas, the Makarapan beckons in the distant horizon as though calling out to him. It should be noted here that while there are more mountain ranges in the same vicinity that are more accessible than the Makarapan, they are not as high. From Anai, Gear travels by speedboat to Apoteri, a small village located near the confluence of the Rupununi and Essequibo rivers. Over the years, boats and high-powered engines have become the preferred method of transportation amongst the local people. And after some investigation, he found this to be the easiest way to get to the foot of the mountain. Traveling by boat offers the added advantage of seeing many villages more close up than you would by flying overhead. The tour guide gives us a rundown of the myth that surrounds the Makarapan mountain.
So we are in the Rupununi River, and in the background is the Makarapan Mountains. And the story behind the Makarapan Mountains is a roar that was known in the past, and sometimes sung so hard it drove fear in the residents of the communities, the indigenous people around here. And this is the Tushao for one such community, and he's going to tell us about the stories he would have heard from his mother. Was there any explanation? Anybody explained what that song was? Can you tell me what your mom would have told you what the song was like? What did the song like? Was it a familiar song, or was it a frightening song? What was it like?
Okay. Once upon a time, my mom told me about this story of Makarapan, and she was telling us the story, and she said every midnight years ago, is to make nice like a roar, like a dragon, right?
A roar, a loud roar.
A loud roar.
Okay.
And she said that when young girls have the menstruation, they cannot go there or close to the mountain, the Makarapan mountain.
So it had an adverse effect on young girls. Like, what would happen if they go close to the mountain?
Well, the mountain will start making nice, a big roar.
Okay.
Yes, so there's a alert to them. So
The legend, was it a dragon? Is it someone who was there? Was it the spirits that would cause this roar? Anyone knew what was it?
Well, as she said, my mom said that there is a dragon up there, but nobody never see.
Okay.
Right, and the mountains are dangerous. That's how comes the roar are
Okay.
making. But since when I know myself, I never hear the roar.
Have you ever known of people climbing the mountain and coming back?
No.
Anybody has been to the top of the mountain and explained what would be up there, if they see anything?
I don't think so for myself, but
Okay.
but the mountain has some gravity that no plane cannot pass close by or over. Plane always be passing sideway.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So there was also this myth, or I don't know how to put it, but the fact that a man and wife went up into the mountain once and they were never seen again. Did you hear about that?
Yes, I heard about it. But
Okay,
a man and his wife went up and never returned
okay.
home.
So this myth that surrounds this mountain, does it drive fear in villagers, or it has become a normal thing now in this day and age?
Well,
Do people act like they're frightened? They're afraid of this? Do people act like they're afraid?
well, the Amerindian now who is like Rio and us,
Or,
we get in the custom or custom to it, the younger generation.
okay,
Yes,
but the older people,
knows about what the tech
These myths.
years ago.
legends,
Yes.
cool. All right.
After sitting for half an hour in a speedboat, it is time to get out, stretch your legs, and get your mind right for the next exciting part of the journey. Gear leads the way to conquer the Makarapan mountain.
So here I am trying to climb that Makarapan mountain. It is a mountain always intrigued me by the myth all the locals in the area always talk about, and giving you all these stories about Makarapan being a mountain or the highest mountain peak in the northern savannah. And since it is the highest, and the story behind it about a roar, every few years they will have a roar, a gigantic kind of roar, animalistic roar. I never know what it is. So I go in various parts of the villages, or various villages, and they always tell me the same story. It even, a legend has it where persons who have gone up or ventured into that mountain range never come back or never seen alive again. So probably it's just myth. However, I love these kind of things. So here I am, me and my team, all the way up, and that's what I'm doing here now. This is one of the mountains that I need to conquer, of the many mountains I already conquer in Guyana.
With its highest peak standing at 3,600 feet high, the Makarapan Mountain is considered the highest point of the North Rupununi savannas. On a clear day, it is visible from the Rupununi's first settlement, Anai, located some 20 miles from the foot of the mountain. While the Makarapan Mountains consist of several peaks geographically, it cannot be described as a mountain range by itself. Gear and his friends begin to trek towards the mountain.
This is my team here. Say hello. From here it's out Virgin. So you're walking through virgin forest. Great.
But this road is showing
Like somebody did some, or it can be animal too, animal track. But you know, animal track is the scooter, right?
But I think this one is
Persons would have gone there, so probably.
After trekking for half an hour, they begin to notice a rise in elevation as they grab hold of the trees for support going upwards. The forest around the mountain is very dense, requiring the crew to crawl through some parts of it, especially where their path is hindered by thick vines. Taking a moment to finally acknowledge and appreciate his current environment, Gear observes that all the wildlife appear very vibrant and healthy, almost giant-like.
Look at the spider monkey. They're huge.
I'm doing that. Hello! Hello! Okay, I know I'm bothering you.
They continue trekking but begin to stop for 5-minute breaks as they grow more and more tired going up the mountain. The crew had initially planned on spending the night at the top of the mountain, but they had no knowledge how difficult a hike would be and have almost depleted their supplies trying to restore energy. Every time the crew encounter a high peak and feel that they are nearing the top of the mountain, the guide shouts, "There's another one farther up, and we're not there yet." It's unclear how he knows this, but the mystery continues, and so do they.
Here we all are, resting on one of the peaks towards our way to the higher peak.
The crew discovered large rocks that had fallen onto each other, almost blocking the entrances to what appears like caves on the mountain. They went in to investigate but were put off by the sheer darkness in them. The rocks themselves were covered as if protecting them. They are literally above the clouds now. With the aid of binoculars, they could make out part of the Rupununi River in the distance. At such height, the air surrounding the crew feels very thin and the temperature chilled, and the thinness of the air makes breathing quite a laborious task. After several hours of hiking, the crew again hope that they are at the top of the highest peak, but they are in fact 3,200 feet up. While closely examining their whereabouts, a guide notices that there is yet another peak approximately 400 meters above them.
We are top of the Makarapan mountains. Now, as you can see, we are 3,000 plus feet. We will check the elevation shortly. And they're tired, extremely. Now, if you look through the vegetation, it's all clearing. So, well, took us about 4 hours plus, but it's constant walking, very rare. We stop at least a few times, but just for a few minutes, and then on our way again. It's really tiring. It's very fruitful, wonderful. I'm feeling very chill up here. It's kind of like, besides the chill, it's you're breathing very thin air, very light, and a good feeling. Tend to get headaches and so on. So guys, that's it.